Just kidding.
All right, we'll wait till the coach gets here, but Coach, you want to go ahead and give us an opening statement on the game? And then reminder, after Coach's opening statement, we'll take questions for just the student athletes only.
Okay, I thought, coming into the game today, we knew that, they're a very good basketball team. Macy Morris and Taylor Murray are dynamic guards. Two kids that can take the game over. And we were concerned about that. We knew that they love to drive right. And unfortunately, the first few minutes of the game, we allowed them to drive right. Then they scored. And then we finally made some adjustments about 4 or 5 minutes into the game, forced them to go left. We had help on that side. And defensively, we did a lot of good things. You look at our stat sheet, and I tell people all the time, we are 1 rebound away and 2 assists away of having 4 players with double doubles. I mean, it's not one player. Asia shoots the heck out of it. She scores. Her teammates do a great job of finding her in open space. We execute. I mean, I was really impressed with us. If you go back and watch that ball game, I mean, Asia scored a lot in the half court. Because we took the time, we set good screens, we found her. Now, as I say it all the time, she has to knock the shots down. And she did. And then I think the start of the game, I think Sam Fury gets an O board on the first possession of the game and scores. So we set the tone that, I told him in the locker room, you got to rebound to win. If you rebound the basketball, you've got a great chance to win. So I'm really proud of them. It's a good win, but now we've got to get set for the next ball game. It's not, there's a lot bigger things in front of us, and we know that, and we've got to continue to improve and get better.
Okay, we'll take questions from Myisha, Hines-Allen, and Asia Durr. Please raise your hand to be recognized so we can order the questions. Gary, go ahead.
Asia, you just talk about your comfort level tonight, just being able to kind of shoot especially from outside, even when you were being pressured.
Well, I mean, my teammates give me confidence. They, find me on the court. Coach Walz calls great plays, and if I don't have the shot there, I know I have my teammates to count on, and they always, help me get hyped and things like that. So, I mean, it's my teammates who get me going. It's so much fun playing out there with them.
Any questions for the student athletes?
Myisha, what do you guys think of your transition game tonight?
Really well. We were able to rebound the ball, and that's where it all starts, just rebounding at the defensive end, and then going in transition. That's one of the things that we were focusing on too, the team.
Gary?
Just talk about, either one of you can talk about your pace tonight, just in terms of pushing the ball down court and kind of locking down on defense and forcing turnovers.
Well, Coach Walz talks about it all the time, tempo, and that's what we've been trying to, do better as a team. This past week, we've been working on scoring and then sprinting back on defense because, Kentucky, they don't waste any time getting the ball out the net, they go. So that's what we had to work on this past week.
Myisha, what does this rivalry mean to you?
It means a lot. Since it was my last one, I just wanted to come in here and do whatever I could for the team so we can get the win. But it's a big one. You know what it means to Kentucky, and you know what it means back at home. So it was just good that we were able to get that win. And I think it was some years, I don't know how long, Coach Walz mentioned it before the game, that we weren't able to ever win here.
Hey, just a quick question for y'all. Went on a nice run to end the first half. What did y'all see different in those last 2 or 3 minutes to go on that run?
You talking about in the first half?
Yeah.
In the first half, well, we stayed hungry, we stayed aggressive as well. Coach Walz kept saying they weren't going to back down, even during halftime. That's what he said. So we just had to, stay hungry and not get comfortable. We know that we were up 15 or 20, but we had to, keep on going because he didn't take his best 2 players out for the whole game. So he was trying to make a statement.
To either one of you, without rebounding Kentucky, which was key to you guys winning, but those rebounds didn't come easy. Talk about the difficulty in getting those rebounds and being able to out-rebound.
Yeah, Yeah, they're an aggressive team. They were always in the paint. Their guards rebounded the ball so well. I think it says Taylor Murray had 7 rebounds. So, I mean, their guards rebound so well. And then, say we did get the ball, they would come, they'll be right there. I know I got one poked away from me. So, like, their guards are really aggressive. Their post players are just so big, and they're able just to get up there and get the rebounds, too. So, we just have to be strong with that ball.
For Myisha, when you all move the ball around and it gets out to Asia, how much confidence do you have when she gets it on the wing?
A lot. I mean, once it gets in her hands and it goes up, I just want to run back down, but I know I'll probably get in trouble if I did that. But I just have so much confidence in her. Over this past summer, playing with her at USA Trials, I've really got to see like what Asia is capable of doing, and I think now everyone is seeing what she's capable of doing. Like, I'll say it again, like, I think that she's the best player in college basketball, and I'm just happy that she's on my team.
Any other questions for the student athletes we can dismiss into the locker room?
Asia, what do you think of Dana over the past couple of weeks? Why do you think she's becoming so comfortable right now? Is it just that it took time for her to kind of get settled, or what do you think
Right.
it is?
I mean, it's always tough coming from high school to college. You got to make that adjustment. We've been trying to help her in a practice. She's very coachable, very coachable. She wants to be great. You know, anytime you have a player like that who wants to be great, you know, that starts to show. And I think in big games like this, you know, fans and, you know, players are really starting to see what type of player she is.
Okay, we'll dismiss the players back to the locker room. Thank you. Continue the post-game press conference with Coach Walz. Again, if you have questions, please raise your hands so you can.
Jeff, in the last game in particular, when you had 7 players in double figures, you were talking about how much having that kind of support really, you know, helps your approach. But a game like this, where you're playing a rival, how much did it kind of help Asia get her game going, knowing that she had others that could pick up the slack?
Well, I think that's why she's able to do what she's doing. It's because you just, you know, it's hard to box and chase her. It's hard to face guard her. It's hard to just say, hey, we're just going to hone in on her, because then she does a great job of doing a screen. You know, and if you're not going to help off, well, then we'll set a screen for Myisha in the paint, and then she comes off and she scores. Having balance and depth is something that we haven't had at this level of it in the past. You know, it makes life a lot easier for her when players can step up and knock down open shots. I thought Erica Carter was big. Erica was big in the first half because they challenged her to make open shots, and she did. You know, and we did the same thing. And I've got to give a few of their kids a credit. You know, we doubled the on-ball screen when Morris came off of it. She throws back to McKinney. She hits a 3. Tatiana Wyatt hits a 3. You know, so they had kids step up and make some shots too, which you have to have when you've got players of the caliber of Asia and Macy Morris that you're competing against.
What makes Sam Fearing so effective as a rebounder?
She doesn't stop. That's the one thing I'll give Sam. She moves without the ball. It's really hard to find that anymore. You know, players like to watch. Shot goes up, they all like to watch. Sam moves without the ball. I say it all the time. It's hard to find players that when a shot's taken can look at the trajectory of the ball and be like, it's short or long. And then if it's long, just get to the other side. If it's short, stay on your side. And I think in our game, in women's basketball, because we don't necessarily play as much pickup, just going out and playing, you know, you don't get as many reps with just playing basketball. And I think that comes from that. And Sam has a knack for it. Shot goes up, she can tell if it's short or long. And then she goes and hunts the ball. But she was big tonight. I mean, I thought the way she offensive rebounded really set the tone for us.
How much have you encouraged Erica with their perimeter shot like that?
I told her, as long as it goes in, keep shooting it. I mean, you know, she took one, I thought she took one bad shot, and that was in the end of the first half there, kind of like 2 minutes left in transition, where she fired up like off-balance bank shot on the left side that did not go in. You know, I'm like, AC, you've been killing them on ball reversal and stepping into your 3. Like, don't start doing more than what you're really good at. And then she missed that 1-3 in front of our bench there late in the game. I told her when she was coming down the floor, I said, shoot it. Now, what she can't allow to have happen is Macy Morris go down the floor and make one on her. You know, you have to defend, but AC's put the time in. You know, when you put the time in and you work on your game, it's amazing what happens. And she went from, she did not make one three-point shot her freshman year, not one, to where now you have to respect her, you have to guard her.
Morris started the game 3 for 10. What was your defensive philosophy on her? You mentioned taking away the right.
Well, yeah, our whole goal was to force her left, but you can't give her left. When she drives left, she goes to the basket for layups. It's what she does. Every time she goes left, she's going all the way to the hole. When she goes right, she'll size you up. She's really good at a little step back. She does a great job. So our goal was play head up. If she's going to drive, make her go left. But then we fouled. You know, she got to the line some there in the first half, which I thought was a problem for us. And then we started to finally back off. But I was really pleased with how we defended.
We have time for 2 more.
When you look at, we've talked about the offensive versatility, but when you look at defense, how do you see your depth there? You know, who do you think have been the standout so far?
Well, I think defensively we're good too. I mean, we have players that can come in off the bench. I mean, Bianca Dunham did not, she normally gives us more. She's been really good this year. Now, she fouled well. 4 fouls in 3 minutes is pretty damn impressive. I mean, that's not easy to get done, especially when you're not trying to do it. But she normally comes in and can rebound and give us a presence. You know, Kylie Shook offensively is further along than Bianca, but Bianca defensively is further. So they both have areas that they're going to work to get better at, which will help us get better.
Last question.
You guys got out on the fast break pretty good, that led you guys to it. After defensive rebounds, getting out on the fast break. Has that been your style of play this year? Has that been something that's been pretty much a routine thing you guys have been able to do?
Well, we've always tried that. I mean, you know, our whole goal is to get the ball out as quick as we can, look down the floor, but don't force it. I'm trying to get them to pick the tempo up, push it below the free throw line as quick as you can. If it's not there, bring the ball back out and reverse it. I don't want them stopping at the 28-foot marker and just holding it to try to set up an offense. That's not what we're trying.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Kentucky is on its way.